sensitive soul friend. It's your energizing host, Nicole. Welcome to the Zenspiration Show, your one-way ticket to a mental margarita and a refreshing dip in the pool of possibility. Feel like life's turned the blender to chaos mode? Are you ready to break free from the noise? Create your own blend of Zen energy and inspiration? This is the show where we navigate the wild ways of today's world with practical wisdom, wonder, and a dash of magic sauce, so you get to live your life fueled by passion, purpose, and a lot of empowered vibes. Get ready to energize your life. We're headed to a magical place I call Inspiration Island. The Zenspiration Show starts now. What? We are back for such a great episode. Hey, it's Nicole, my fellow explorers. How are you today? Get ready. You better buckle up. We got a big topic today. We are diving into anxiety. That's right. We're diving into anxiety, but wait, with a fresh perspective, because there's so much information out there about this topic. I know, because I've Googled it. I did. I've Googled it and Oogled it, and I've seen so many things. Plus, I've worked with a ton of clients on this. I have also had my own journey with anxiety, which we are going to talk about. So you ready to do some soul searching with me? All right. It is Nicole, your Quest for Life coach. Welcome to the Zenspiration Show. Of course, we are coming to you live every first and third Tuesday right here on our favorite Transformation Talk Radio Network. I love it so much. All right, here's what we're going to dive into in our first segment, big topic. I want to debunk some of the myths because there are a lot. We've been conditioned to believe a lot of things on this topic. And this is not, by the way, let me tell you, it's not a show where I'm just going to tell you that anxiety isn't that bad, that it's just in your head, or that you should just deal with it, or compare any levels of anxiety of mine or yours. We're not doing any of that, but I want you to understand there is a narrative out there, because if you do search, I just did one this morning just for a fresh take, just to see what's out there. And this is the biggest deal, okay, is that you must become your own filter when you are doing any of your own research. Of course, do your own research. This isn't about taking any one person's opinion or perspective over anyone else's. This show, everything that I do and bring to you is all about bringing you back to yourself, back to what your soul is telling you, trying to create awareness around. And that's what this perspective and this new thought approach, that's what I want to do, because I was taught a lot of things about anxiety. I believed a lot of things on this topic that were not helping me. It was actually creating more anxiety for me. Now, we don't want to do that, but that's what's happening. There's a common belief that anxiety is uncontrollable, that it's a thing. It's a thing you have. You have anxiety, that maybe you need to medicate it. It's that bad, that it is bad, but it's not. And I want to break down all of this stuff. Now, I'm going to be right up here and tell you, I'm not a doctor. I don't diagnose. That's not my approach. My approach is to empower you to make your own decisions about what you feel, how you feel it, where it's coming up, why is it coming up, and what you can do to change it. Okay, to change it. Now, of course, let's also say that if you're having anxiety, the emotion of anxiety is dominating your life. You can't function. You don't know how to think straight. You're not making decisions for yourself. You're constantly in your head and ruminating. It is changeable, but you have to take the reins. You cannot always, I know this is going to throw you for a loop, but you cannot always believe what you read online. Yeah. Woo, what? Shocker. I know, but that's the disclaimer here. Okay. You cannot just take everything you read online as it is and then go, oh, that's why I feel the way I feel. That's my problem. This is the problem. If there's a problem, it's that we're starting to just take something at like firsthand, surface level, without saying, how does that feel for me? Now, my own journey, when it came to anxiety, how I felt, energy, being too sensitive. By the way, remember, if you're an empath, sensitive, energetically gifted, a lot of this is going to impact you, and we want it to be in a positive way. But for myself, the more research that I did, the more that I read, I really, really believed that I had a problem with anxiety because I had a lot of it. I felt it all day, every day. Inside, I was a freaking mess. On the outside, people thought I was very polished. I was very put together. But on the inside, constantly struggling and up and down and all over the place with my emotions. So I get to call this stuff as it is because I've walked this path and I have made the change. I'm not sitting here from some perspective that I've never really experienced it. And by the way, I don't think that anyone on this entire planet has never experienced the emotion of anxiety. That's ridiculous. Everyone has had some level, okay, of this emotion activated at some point in their path, some more than others, but maybe some people also have more tools in their life toolbox. Maybe some people actually understand this emotion a little bit deeper at a spiritual, soulful level. Instead of making it the enemy, they figured out, hey, wait a minute, maybe this emotion could be my ally. How about that? Yeah, that's what we want to uncover. So the more that I read and the more that I started to learn that emotions are part of our navigation system, if I change my perspective, if I change my thought pattern, my emotions will follow. I liked that. I was hooked on that. All of the other things that I was read and taught, need medication, it's a problem, it's bad, can't do anything about it. Some people just have disorders, this, that, and the other thing. Remember, I'm not a doctor, don't diagnose, but I'm telling you, if I would have just bought into all of that, I would still be, if not worse, struggling with anxiety. But I decided I didn't like that. It didn't work for me. Yeah, by the way, you get to decide what works for you and what does not. What you like, what aligns for you, and what does not. And there's quite a bit of conditioning right now. Big push for you to not lean into your own self-trust, make your own decisions, use your critical thinking skills, okay, which is how we're going to navigate all of this. And if we're taught that that's not really the way to live life, if we're being conditioned that these things are a problem, take this medication, don't think for yourself, this is the whole problem, this is not going to lead you to a life of enlightenment. It's not going to lead you to your inner peace. By the way, all of these things that you do want, how you do want to feel the calmness, that's all within. That is all within. There's just a big bump online. Now, so here's what, as we wind down this segment here, just imagine that you bump your arm. Oh, that hurts. Really hurts when you bump it really good. You hit that just right. Would you then think, oh no, I'm going to have this pain forever. I have this pain. I have this pain. This is my pain forever. This is what people start to wrap their beliefs into about anxiety. They feel anxious and start to then go, oh no, I have anxiety. Oh no, do I have a problem with anxiety? And they continue to build that belief around that. Now, if you bump your arm, if you keep bumping it in the same spot, what do you think happens? Oh, we keep hurting ourselves. Then the pain might continue. If you continue to keep things in your life that feel off, you might keep having an activated emotion called anxiety. So here's what I want you to consider during the break. Is there a regular something in your life, when you think of it, don't like to think of it, makes me feel anxious? Is there a belief that you have about anxiety, the emotion of anxiety, the way you've been taught what anxiety is or is not? Have you been taught something that feels scary, worrisome, heavy, hurtful, yucky? I don't know, what other word can we give it? Icky, uncomfortable. Have you been taught things that you're carrying around about this emotion that continue to activate the emotion. And then when you have it, does it make it even worse? Does it tend to flare things up? So are there some things, some people, some activities in your life where you feel, wow, I feel really uptight. I feel really anxious. I do ruminate. When your thoughts are ruminating, do they tend to be on the same type of areas of your life? The future, the past, something someone said? See, this is where we have to get really good at being a detective. You need to be a professional detective when it comes to what emotions are coming up and why are they coming up, because there is a reason. You're not just stuck with anxiety. You weren't just cursed with something. It's an emotion. And in segment, and when we come back, we're going to talk about why that is and how to shift it. That's right. When we come back, we're going to talk facts and myths, and we are going to break this apart because it's not bad. Anxiety is not bad. I know I'm throwing that at you, but I'm saying it. It's not bad. It just feels bad. So you are listening to the Zenspiration Show with Coach Nicole, the Quest for Life coach. And we are going to take a quick break. When we return, we're going to explore more about anxiety. By the end of the show, I commit, anxiety is going to be your ally. I'll see you after the break. We're coming back now. Anxiety. Ready to reframe it? It's not bad. It just feels bad. I want to acknowledge that. I am not here to say anxiety is tons of fun. It's not. But doesn't it get your attention when you have anxiety, when it's activated and just coursing through you? You definitely notice it. Can't miss it. But you can misunderstand it. That's right. You can't miss feeling your anxiety, but you can misunderstand it. And that is a lot of what we've already chatted about. How we've been conditioned to believe that anxiety is bad. It's bad if you have it. It's a thing. It's a thing that you have. If I had here, I have a little cup. Can you go fill this with anxiety? Can you? No, because it's not a thing. It's just it's a sense. It's a emotion. It is activated when you have a thought. It activates an emotion or energy in motion, and you feel that physically, because every emotion has a physical component. The physical components that go with anxiety, they're not very comfortable, are they? They're kind of like, they just feel so uncomfortable. So we are definitely acknowledging that it is not fun to feel anxiety. And I want to help you tune into that, because if we get out of here and we drop into our body, we go, whoa, I am noticing that I notice that I'm feeling anxiety. It is coming up for me. Okay. So if we can just stop also living from the neck up, you'll have a lot more power in your decision making and how you navigate your path. If you are living from the neck up, oh man, lots of things can activate up there that are not even true. That's right. You can actually have anxiety about something. There's a different reasons as well. What I usually sort through with my clients, because I work with energetically sensitive clients, they're picking up on energy all around them. They're picking up on other people's energy, their moods, but they don't know how to make the difference. This is mine. This is not mine. This is how I'm actually feeling emotionally and energetically. And I am actually picking up on energy around me. Yeah, it's a thing. That is a thing. That's for real. You can sense a lot of things. Plus, you're wired intuitively to pick up signals and to read the room energetically. So there are a lot of abilities that you have that if you haven't been taught how to use them, they can kind of feel like a haywire, just going crazy, energy everywhere. And it's not really harnessed. It's not really channeled and going where you want it to. Also, I want to make clear that anxiety, it's an emotion. Anxiety only means the meaning that you give it. This is why shifting our beliefs about this emotion is so crucial. If you believe that anxiety is bad, I have a problem, there's something wrong with me, what is wrong with me? Why do I always feel like this? Other people are normal. I'm not normal. See, that's a belief paradigm that keeps you very, very trapped and very, very anxious. If you shift your thoughts, however, wow, something's coming up for me. My soul is trying to communicate with me, or I'm sensing something that feels uncomfortable, but we don't put any negative, scary, worrisome kind of meaning into it. We're assessing, we're noticing, we're creating awareness. You can then more easily harness that and direct it into an area of your life, into your surroundings, your situation. This keeps you more grounded and centered to make decisions instead of, what's going on? I have no control. This is terrible. I don't like it. Okay. You don't have to, by the way, our soul doesn't always communicate things with us in all like cotton candy and butterfly kind of ways. Sometimes it's like, hey, snap two. Need your attention on this. This relationship makes you incredibly anxious. It's not in alignment for you. This decision, not the best. It's not going to lead to where you want. You're doing it because you think you should, not because it's actually something you're passionate about. See, our soul uses our intuition as a channel to communicate. How does it do that? It uses emotions. Emotions are such a great navigating tool. But if we're just treating them like bad guys, if we're just saying, oh, anxiety, I hate it. I hate my anxiety. You're actually you're denying a part of yourself. You're saying that this part of me, this system that I have is flawed. And I'll tell you, it's not. What is flawed is what we've been taught. That's where I get hot. Okay. Because you are experiencing an emotion doesn't mean there's anything wrong with you, but maybe it does mean I should be aware of something. Maybe, and it can, this was my experience, my anxiety will come up and I'll notice I'm really in my head about how things maybe will not work out, or I'm worried about the outcome before I've even implemented the steps. This is fear. This is not necessarily anxiety, man. That's fear. That's my limiting beliefs. That's the stuff from the past. And my ego saying, oh, you're going to try something new. Oh, you better not do that. You know what happened last time? Yes, when we have some of these emotions, they're actually firing from our past experiences, not current day. It's not telling you what you do have that's working for you, that you have improved, or how you have learned, how you have grown, how you have expanded. It doesn't give you any of that information. And so when you feel that fear, that anxiety, and those types of emotions, you need to just take a breath. Take a pause. Take a look around on the inside. I don't mean take a look around. I mean, take a look around on the inside. What's coming up for me? What am I noticing? How does that feel for me? Where am I feeling it? Is it reminding me of anything else that I've experienced before? Yeah, usually it does, by the way. I'll just give you the answer to that one. Okay, yes, usually, yes. Oh, you know what? It does remind me of that time when. It does remind me of that conversation I had with so-and-so. It does remind me of the time when that person in my life told me this certain thing. It really hurt, or it impacted me, or it made me feel very limited. There are a lot of old ties and old energy. Many times anxiety for my clients will fire, and it's actually very old energy. It's not a new thing. It's a pattern. And so we can follow and connect those spiritual dots to get to the root cause. And then magic starts to happen, because now you're empowering yourself saying, this is a clue. I am receiving a message and a clue from my soul. I need to sit up and pay attention. I need to lean into that conversation. Yes, soul, what are you trying to make me aware of? What is it that I need to know about this? And when you start to do that, you start to lean into yourself and in a soul-guided way, assess and address what's coming up for you. Wow, guess what? You can start to transform any area of your life. You may start to discover a lot of things that you've been talking yourself into that are not in alignment, talking yourself out of things that you actually truly, truly want. But that anxiety and that fear based on old scenarios is starting to come up. It's not helping you, but it can. That's why I love to lean into my anxiety and observe it. Just observe it. What's going on in there? Why is this coming up? What am I working on? What thoughts have been firing randomly in my mind? Those are the keys right there to help you tame and create an ally relationship with your anxiety. Because when you start to say, oh, well, yeah, I can see why these feelings have been coming up, or these emotions, that feelings are the story, but why these emotions have been coming up for me. Now it's starting to make sense. And you can do what? Reclaim your power. Now you can reclaim your power. You can soothe your system because now you can implement action steps to resolve whatever is not in alignment. Whatever is not in alignment. Now, this is all about changing the meaning, changing the perspective, right? Becoming more empowered when it comes to our emotions. And when we come back for the next break, I want to show you how to do that. I want to help you redirect your mind and your thoughts, because it's not saying, oh, that's silly. I shouldn't worry about that. What's wrong with me? That will keep you in the loop. I want to take you out of that thought loop, create a better one, show you how to take charge of that, harness your mind, do all those good things, because it's possible, it's doable. And you know what? It's actually simple, but you got to commit. So during the break, I want you to give some thought, say, is this something that I'm willing to commit to? Am I willing to commit to myself and set a new standard about any emotion that I have, that it's there to help me? It's there to help me understand. It's there to help me create awareness about something that's coming up for me. And it can be my ally. It can be the key to help me really unlock and step forward into the next space, take the next inspired action step. I don't need to actually force myself, push myself, make myself do things, even though I feel anxiety or fear. I can do it from an empowered place. If that sounds good to you, I want you to sit with that commitment during the break. I'm Nicole. You're listening to the Zenspiration Show. When we come back, we are going to talk about how to redirect your mind and your thoughts. Powerful stuff now. You don't want to miss this segment. No, you don't. Okay, stay tuned. We'll be right back. We're back on the Zenspiration Show. I'm your host, the Quest for Life coach, Nicole. You ready? Are you ready to dive into redirecting your mind and thoughts about not just anxiety, because there's some biggies in there, right? We have anxiety, we have fear, and there's some other ones that are not fun to feel. We already covered that. We got that. Not fun to feel, but we can do something about this. And you might think, well, you know what? If everyone could just be so kind and nice, and all the noise in the world could just tone down, and if everything could just go to being perfect, then I wouldn't have this issue with anxiety. I would feel totally calm and at ease. And no, that's not. I mean, that's probably, I would like that. That would be awesome, but not likely. So we were in Aruba recently. As you know, we traveled to Inspiration Island quite a bit. And there are these trees there. There's actually two very famous trees right there on Eagle Beach, on one of the beaches. They're called Fofoti trees. And they are so interesting and so incredible to look at, because the trunk of the tree looks all twisted and kind of gnarly. And these trees grow in a certain direction because the winds cross over the island, and the trees have learned to adapt to their climate, learn to adapt to the landscape, the winds, and they are beautiful. And I want you to know that no matter what is going on around you in your environment, in the world, in your family, in relationships, adapting does not mean continuing to live in an anxious state or taking on everyone's everything or just dealing with it. Adapting to your circumstances, adapting to your environment simply means that you are applying your energy skills. Just like these trees who have learned, they're world famous. They thrive. They've learned to grow. They're so beautiful to look at. And when you look at them, you think, but oh, how did that happen? And it's over time. So we've been winded by the storms, in life. We have these things. It's time to really shift our mind around emotions and anxiety and say, okay, it's not a bad thing. It's a signal. It's something that I'm experiencing. It's definitely getting my attention. But why? Why is this coming up for me? Where can I follow this breadcrumb to find a message? Because my soul is clearly trying to tell me something really significant. Okay, we know that. Now, if you are experiencing anxiety and you're not really in a moment where you can have this deep dive with your soul, excuse me, everyone, halt the noise, like put everything down. I need to just have an hour-long chat with my soul or whatever, right? So maybe we can't do that. Powerful questions are game changers. When I discovered this, instead of, I want to be clear, there's a difference between the brain chatter firing off questions at you. Why do I feel this way? Why can't I just be normal? What is this? Why do I always have to feel this way? Why am I like this? Those were my questions. My question was, why can't I just be normal? All these other people, because that's what my brain would perceive, that everyone else was calm, totally put together. They weren't experiencing anything like I was. I was the hot mess. That's not a great perspective to go through life. It definitely does not activate confidence. I wanted to feel confident. I did have big dreams. Are you with me on this? Do you have big dreams? It takes confidence. It takes a centeredness. It takes a soul guided plan. I didn't have those things. I had anxiety. I had worry. I wasn't feeling good about myself or my potential. When I learned the difference between answering disempowering questions, because when I did that, when I would even ask myself, which I was, but I wasn't, these questions were firing in my mind. Why am I like this? Why can't I be normal? What's wrong with me? I would experience more pain. I would experience more anxiety. I would experience this heaviness of not feeling good about myself. But when I learned to ask myself empowering questions, what does this mean for me? What is my soul trying to tell me? What is it that I need to be aware of right now? What is coming up for me? What does this remind me of? Where I could actually start to receive answers from my soul, then had the platform and the mic, okay, to be like, oh, let me tell you what's going down here. Okay. It would say, this isn't a great relationship. You're talking yourself into this opportunity. You're telling yourself that you need this to feel okay, but you don't. I mean, how many people out there right now are self-medicating? Or their doctor's medicating them, right? Anxiety meds, sleep meds, alcohol. People are getting high just to feel calm. What? They're taking in all of these drugs to try and feel balanced and normal and clear. How does that doesn't compute? They're trying to be accepted. They're trying to seek approval. They're trying all of these things instead of going within. Powerful questions like the ones that I've shared so far and saying, how do I want to feel? What am I feeling? Do you even give yourself an opportunity to be honest and say, what's coming up for me right now? Most people, no. I mean, the clients, they'll tell me, no, I don't do that. I don't want to look at what's coming up for me because what if it's too big? What if it's too dark? What if I cannot shift it? Of course, we change that, right? So that they are very empowered and can change it. But until you face it, address it, you can't do anything with it. There's no changing something that we're suppressing. So instead of suppressing, let's assess and address it. That's the key. And that is really the power. It is also about, if you're going to assess things, this isn't working in my life. This relationship feels really negative. I'm not really feeling that great. Maybe it's a job change. And you've been putting it off, it's just not the right fit anymore. Maybe it's things like that. And the longer we push it off, not push it real good, but like push it off, okay? The harder it feels to change because we've built up such a story around what it is, when we're going to do it, why it seems impossible. And most of the time, it's really because we just don't want to. It just feels too hard. However, it is much harder and much more grueling to stay in your life in a way that doesn't feel good for you, that is not in alignment. Instead, let's put everything out on the table and say what's working and what's not working. You know, if we cook dinner, we don't take all the ingredients and throw them into one recipe. We pick and choose what we think will go well together. But in our lives, we tend to leave a lot of ingredients that don't need to be there. And we keep trying to throw them all in the pot, and it's just not how it works. That's not how we are happiest, how we feel light and free and clear and empowered. If you want your life, the life is the quest. Like that's the ultimate quest. And if you want it to feel like an adventure, healthy, vibrant, exciting, inspiring, we've got to get rid of the stuff that's not working. We can't just keep finding it away. Oh, it's fine. Oh, I'll do it tomorrow. Oh, that's all right. Okay, we just cannot do that. The work that I do with clients goes into those layers and helps them really help my clients see like, oh, I've been telling myself a story, but I was taught that story. I bought into that story instead of that story is not really leading me anywhere that feels good. I'm just in this consistent loop of nothingness where I'm getting actually, though, more wore out and tired. Yeah, you don't want to do that. No. So I help my clients go into these layers. We pull out all the stuff that's not working. Guess what's left? All the things that light you up, the things that do inspire you. And you know what else is left? A lot more time and energy to direct and channel into those dreams that you have, into the path you want to travel, into the things that you do want to try without all the anxiety firing, without all the worry, all the fear. Instead, you are left with the emotions that feel good, help you stay vibrant, and have tons of energy to create the life and reimagine and transform the life you want. Now, when we come back, more on harnessing anxiety for empowerment and transformation. Yes, it's actually a transformation tool that I show you how to use. Imagine anxiety becoming an empowerment tool for you. How would that change things? Give that some thought, and we'll be back after the break. Hey, welcome back to the Zenspiration Show. Nicole, your Quest for Life coach, right here on Transformation Talk Radio. I love this segment. We are going to dive into harnessing anxiety for empowerment and transformation. Yeah, you feeling it? I'm feeling it. It's good. It's good. Okay. We need to also clarify that healthy energy, vibrant energy, is really going to help you. Okay. If you're just feeling anxious, you haven't been taking action in the areas of your life, you've been telling yourself those stories. I'm going to get to that. Oh, it's no big deal. Oh, I'm fine. Okay. A lot of this inner dialogue and whether you're telling yourself or someone else is not going to help your energy. And so your energy can feel a lot more fatigued. Okay. Your energy can feel a lot more tired. If you just ran, for example, a marathon, and then you tried to get right back up, cross the finish line, try to get right back up and do something else that's physically fatiguing, you're just not going to have the oomph, okay? You won't have the resilience. If you're living with all of this stuff you're pushing away and telling yourself is fine when it's not, and you're just not in alignment, you don't know how to get there, your energy is going to grow tired. When your energy grows tired, then then all of those emotions can activate a lot more easily. Creating healthy energy for yourself gives you this awesome resilience, energy, and empowering yourself. Empowerment's like this elixir for your energy. It just gives you this kind of feeling, and things just sort of roll off. You're not affected by everything around you. You're not fixating on everything around you. We talked about those empowering questions. The other part of this is you being in charge and understanding your brain loves direction. And if you don't give it direction, it's a little bit like a toddler in a toy store. It just goes a little bit bonkers. Okay. Okay. And just lots of excitement, overstimulation, and a meltdown. And that's what can happen. Instead, this is about what do I want to focus on? What is I use this very question every day in my life, no matter what I'm doing. What is my mission for today? I create little mini missions for every project I'm working on. What's my mission with this activity? What is now some people say goals, some people say outcome. I like adventure. So I like to say, what is my mini mission? What am I questing here? What is this because I love when something feels more fun and more when it's exciting and inviting, I'm in. And my brain says, ooh, let's do that. That's the way, if I give my brain this, then also my soul has the opportunity to answer. Here's what we're doing. Our brain loves to process things and it loves to have direction. And I like to look at it that way because when I give it that direction, I become very productive. I'm very engaged and I activate the right parts of me instead of just trying to actually accomplish something while bouncing around in my head while these random brain chattery, disempowering questions and thoughts are firing off at me. I don't want to play word battle in my head. Like, I'm not here to pew, 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 pew. Okay. I want to feel focused, feel in the flow. That's the best feeling, isn't it? When you're really dialed in. There's this irks me. This is one of my pet peeves, just straight up. Okay. Is that our attention spans have grown shorter. No, I think my annoyance has grown higher. I see a lot more of the same thing online, so it kind of annoys me. That's why I scroll. It's not because of my attention span at all. Please don't insult me that way. It's actually, I can be very engaged for a very long time. If I'm in a client session, if I'm having an engaging conversation about life with someone and we're going into the depths and the layers, I'm fully engaged. I am not like, can't pay attention. I have no attention span. Like that, don't buy into that stuff. That's a marketing ploy, by the way, as far as online and how people don't have attention spans anymore. This is about creating your future, creating empowering practices, habits that you love, that engage you, that activate more positive energy. Taking charge, mindset work is taking charge of where your mind is fixating and focusing. If you're fixated on the problems, if you're ruminating, you're fixating on things that are out of your control, that are not maybe current right now. And instead, use that empowering question and reset and pull your attention back where you want it to be. You get to be in charge. This is the very work that I do with my clients to help them create empowerment plans, soul-guided plans that work for them, because each person is an individual. And I show my clients how actual events of their life, their own life, I show them how their intuition is always working for them and how to harness that and use it in their favor. As I was researching this morning, and just doing a couple of searches, I found a quote by someone I know I love so much, Ryan Reynolds, if you're a fan of Ryan Reynolds. And it was actually an article, and he was talking about anxiety. And compared to the other article I was reading that was giving every kind of disempowering, victim-y kind of that I couldn't even finish the other article. I couldn't read it. It was too disempowering, and there's terrible stuff online. So don't believe everything you read. But this was a good quote. People who have anxiety are constantly thinking into the future. You're constantly, what if this happens? What if that happens? You're always telling yourself stories. So anxiety creates that ecosystem of awareness that I wouldn't otherwise have. That is giving a valuable definition to his emotion of anxiety. Now, there, again, are many beliefs and perspectives out there on everything. You have to be the decider, the filter, the person in charge, the big honcho in your mind to decide what works for you, what feels good for you, what shifts things for you, not to just take things at surface level, not just take something because you read it and say, oh, I guess I have a problem with that. This is up to you, my friend, to empower yourself and navigate your own path. And to do that, look at your energy. Look at where your mind is drifting off to. Look at how am I setting myself up for the day? Am I setting it up in an anxious way from the get-go, or am I creating a mini mission for myself today? How do I want to feel? What do I want to think about, focus on, create in my life? If you want more information like that, I have actually set up a whole soul quest on my website at energize-u.com, because why be ordinary, right? Your life is the ultimate quest. What is it that you want to experience? What is it that you want to focus on, create, dream up, make happen? That's the power you have, but you must go within. Everything, it's not a cliche. Everything that you need is within you. It is not out here. We have to stop looking out here for answers and solutions. I'm here to guide you back to yourself with a soul guided plan that works for you. By the way, no extended sabbaticals, no eat, pray, love marathons required. Nope. You can do it from right where you are. But be sure to join me here every first and third Tuesday on the Zenspiration Show right here on Transformation Talk Network. And we'll be back after the break. Oh, what a journey we are on with our friend and our ally, anxiety. Are you noticing any shifts, any ahas, any different perspectives? And this is, again, lots and lots of reflection as you're listening and watching here to dive in and say, well, what is it exactly I have been taught about anxiety? How have I been talking about it? How have I been treating it? Oh, that anxiety is so bad. I hate it so much. It's okay to not like how it feels. It's not intended to feel good. So you're good. Like this isn't what anxiety isn't, to soothe and comfort. It's intentionally, physically, to grab your attention and to feel uncomfortable. So we've looked at debunking some of those myths and the messaging out there. Now I'm going to tell you, this is what has happened for me. It is what happened for my clients as well when they started to really shift and open to, wow, I never really looked at it like this. That's not what I was taught. I've always really despised my anxiety. As they started to open up and shift and change, create a better belief paradigm, a better perspective about what this emotion is and what it can do for them, they started to really notice around them how other people talk about it, things they see in commercials, things they hear in TV shows, things that they read online, other videos. And isn't it a little bit, I mean, a head scratcher that there are so many people that have moved into being an anxiety coach or helping with this therapy, therapists, and yet every year the diagnosis, they continue to escalate. They continue to go up. They're creating new types and versions of disorders, and we're not going in the right direction. And yet there are those of us who have had it severe. I mean, I used to have anxiety so strong but here comes the TMI warning, okay? I would sweat, I would shake, I had no appetite. I actually would be sick and nauseous. I would be nauseous, sick to my stomach a lot of the time. I could not just sit still. I was very fidgety. I used to bite my nails because the energy was so anxious that I couldn't just sit and be still. So I know how frustrating it is too when someone would say, well, why are you getting so upset? Sit still. Why are you so fidgety? Why don't you just this? Why don't you do that? And not really, that wasn't helping, because what I was taking in was more beliefs about why I was the way that I was, why I was feeling the way that I was feeling. This is what sent me on a quest for answers. I wanted a better approach. I knew I did not want medication. My mother, who had anxiety and lots of emotional turmoil, she went down that path. She went to therapy. This is not a knock on all therapy. It really depends on the therapist, the approach, and the person that they're working with. However, just sitting, it didn't help my mother. My mother just like talked and talked and talked about all her problems and got more, she would come home more anxious. Then she went down the medication road. That didn't help either. Then she started taking her medications all kind of wonky ways. And well, then things just really went dark. So I wasn't really learning anything empowering. So I'm coming to you from, listen, these simple things, asking empowering questions, interrupting your brain pattern, doing things to change your physiology, getting into a healthy state, exercising, discharging extra energy you're carrying around. We take on charge all day long, especially now that we're on all of these electronics. We're reading things online. We're bombarded by commercials and advertising. Our phones are dinging. My phone has had probably 7 messages since we've been here on the show. Everything is firing at us. We're taking on all of this energetic charge, and then we're wondering why we feel anxious and don't feel at ease. This is why. You must find ways to discharge in positive ways, discharge that energy, going for a walk. Even though I've been discharging all this positive energy and exchanging with you here today, I'm going to go for a walk after because I'll be all fired up about this topic and everything that we've talked about. This is about saying, how do I want to feel? This is my life. It's up to me. If I want to change how I feel and what I'm focused on, well, nobody's coming to save me. I need to do that for myself. This is my life, and here's how I want to feel today. This is not always an instant, okay, I get that. But it's at least saying and acknowledging, here's how I'm feeling today. How do I want to feel? I want to feel a little bit lighter. I want to feel a little bit happier. I want to feel a little more free in my life. Oh, I want to feel just at ease. I want some inner peace. Well, how could I do that? What would make me feel that way? What is it that I could shift or change about what I've been focusing on? What could I get up and do in my life that would help me feel more at ease, more relaxed? What could I eliminate? Oh, yeah. What could I eliminate that I've been tolerating that would actually free up some space in my mind, some energy in my life? Oh, I bet I got a long list of those things. That's a lot of the time where my clients need the support and they need the strategies, because not everyone in their life is like, oh, good for you getting all empowered, making all these changes I don't agree with. Okay. Sometimes it's true. We have people, we have relationships in our life who are not in alignment and they don't always agree with us. This is why I'm so passionate about the work that I do, because I have witnessed what happens when someone takes control back of their life, not trying to control everything around them so they can be relaxed. It doesn't work that way. Taking control from the inside, what you focus on, what you channel your energy into, what you get up and do, what you decide not to get up and do, what you engage with, what you do not engage with. Do you see all the options? There's so many options, no matter where you are on your path. Know this, you have options. No matter how you feel right now in your life, know this, you have the power to take the reins and shift how you feel, what you focus on, what you believe, what you think about, what you don't think about. All of that power just sitting inside of you. I want to activate all of that within you so that you change the patterns you don't like, or you at least recognize them. Yeah, that's an old pattern, right? That's what we're here to do each and every episode, is to give you options, is to help you shift your perspective. Here's what I really, truly want for you. Yes, I have a vision for you, and the vision is clear. It's you living your life like the greatest adventure ever. It is you setting forth and saying, ooh, what is it that I want to experience? And feeling empowered and transformed, reimagining and transforming your life, and feeling empowered then to live it fully. Give that some thought. How different would things feel? What do you need to shed or eliminate that has been altering what you feel is possible for you? Because it really is true. What you want is possible for you, but not until you shift the beliefs that have been holding you back, whether it be about anxiety, your potential, whether you think you don't have confidence. You do. We just need to make changes within so you're activating more of the emotions you do want and noticing that you notice the ones you don't like or want in a way that is helpful and empowering for you. Next week on the Zenspiration Show, we're going to dive into turning chaos into catalysts for growth. It's going to be amazing. And of course, we're here every first and third Tuesday on Transformation Talk Radio. I'm Nicole, your Quest for Life coach here on the Zenspiration Show. Remember, stay Zenergized for life. Thanks for tuning in, my Trapezoid friend. Coach Nicole here, signing off from the Zenspiration Show and Inspiration Island. Remember, the magic doesn't end here. We are just getting started. Keep shining your light, embracing the adventure, and spreading those empowered vibes wherever you go. I'll see you on the sunny side. Until next time, stay energized for life.